Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel Skill RPA. So as part of Agentic Process Automation series, in the previous video we covered how we can transform ourselves from an RPA to an Agentic Process Automation, and also what concepts we need to cover before becoming an Agentic Process Automation specialist. So here in this video, we are going to dive into agentic automation key components that actually make it to work as an agentic process automation. So there are 5 core components we have. One is the model. Model is going to be the base, which is nothing but LLM. And the second is prompt. Prompt is nothing but the instructions we are giving agent, and tools interact with external applications, context to provide use case specific data or information to make the model to be up to date, to provide use case specific data to make the model to be up to date, and exceptions. Exceptions is the very important concept, like what actually we need to have, because we cannot completely rely on the model, and the model can get confused in terms of complicated decisions. Though the model can take some complex decisions, but it might be get confused or ambiguity. To avoid any type of such an errors, we need to have this exception. This is nothing but taking the human help. So human in loop concept. So human can be part of your agentic automation. So the both combination actually gives us an additional advantage of like reducing the errors or misunderstandings and improving the process efficiency. So now we will go one after the other. And model is nothing but an LLM, which will be considered as a brain of agent, which will be taking all the decisions and which can interpret whatever the natural language what we are giving it to that, and in terms of use case and what user wants to do that, and whatever the prompts we are giving, that actually considered to be or managed by this LLM only. And just remember that like even the brain, whatever the intelligence or smartness the agent is having, it needs some instructions that actually given by the prompts. And prompts are having system prompt and user prompt. System prompt is nothing but setting the context, like role and goal and constraints. So role is nothing but what type of responsibility it needs to take, what kind of job it needs to do. It's kind of a job description, what this agent is supposed to do. For example, I can say you are a customer support specialist in a tech company. We can say that we are setting the context to the agent that like you are supposed to be a customer support specialist in a technical company, so that like it will be behaving that it will change its tone to become an customer support specialist in the tech company. And when goal is what it needs to be achieved, so it's kind of like it needs to resolve the customer queries or whatever the issues they are having in terms of technical complexity. So your goal is help customers to resolve their technical issues efficiently. This actually defines what it needs to achieve. Like the previous one role is like what it was supposed to be, or impersonating any job description, and this is to what it needs to achieve. And the constraints actually plays a very major role in terms of when we are working with the large language models, and it will be falling under even the security concerns as well. Like we are keeping that constraint to the agent that like you should be adhere to this particular rules and regulations or these policies or company policies. So it's kind of like establishing rules is should follow, like kind of I can say never share personal data, always verify identity first. So this kind of constraints we can give. Even more constraints if we have, we can provide that as well. And in case if you have some policy documents, you can mention that like follow the policy documents as mentioned, and those documents can be later submitted as part of our context. So which we will be coming there going further. And the user prompt, this is actually where like the actual requirement we will be giving it to the agent. Like we already set the expectation what it needs to do, and what was the roles and roles for that, and also what it should follow like as part of our system prompt. And user prompt is the input actually it is going to get from a user, or like as part of its executions. So actual requests from users. So for example, I can say my laptop is not connecting to Wi-Fi. So this is one of the technical issue I have, and this can be a user prompt. And the user can say like, this is my ID and all these things, which are whatever is the required data, they can provide that, and so that like it can go back and validate why it is actually failing based on some location. If let us assume that like you have two different office locations, one is in India and the other is in US, and India you are facing this issue, it can check whether the network outage is there in that location or not, and then it can come back. So whatever we have, all these can be handled with the help of this information, whatever the prompt we are giving to the agent. And next important thing is tools. So when let us assume that like you doesn't have any tools, and the tools are to interact with external applications, or we can say target applications. Whatever the actions it was supposed to perform, it will take care of this. Like it's kind of ticket creation, email sending, whatever the task as part of our automation we generally need to perform. So that will be taken care by these tools. And let us assume that tools are not in place. Then whatever the agent we have will be similar to a chatbot, similar to whatever we are seeing as a chat GPT. So it is going to be like that only. And this actually tools making an additional capabilities to the agents to perform the actions, or from actually the tools actually provides the capabilities to make the agent to agentic process automation. And the next important is context. So when we are talking about the large language models, and where we have example, if you take the chat GPT or OpenAI models, it is trained on a vast data and very diversified data. But I want to perform something related to only my data, which is available for that particular model. So this I can keep the data into my database or my knowledge base, and the agent will refer to that knowledge base, and it can come back and perform the actions or take the decisions. So it's more of retrieval augmented generation, which is nothing but the RAG implementation we generally call as part of our large language models, where it can query the documents and get the information, summarize, So it can pull the required information. It is giving access to specialized data, whatever is required for us. Actually, this actually helps in terms of like making our agent more accurate than giving a random responses. And escalations. So when we are talking about constraints, we are saying that like you can refer to the documents as well. So we can mention that like refer to the context for policy documents. These are the some guidelines you need to follow, and we can give that, and that actually refer to this context, and it can follow those rules as well. And escalations is nothing but if agent is confused and may need human help. In this case, it will wait for human decision making and proceed further. So this will help us in terms of reducing the errors and making the process more efficient, and maximum process can be automated with the combination of both uh, agents and the RPA. And in terms of tools, these tools are nothing but like you can call any functions or APIs, or you can integrate with uh, any processes to be called in terms of execution automation processes. And when we talk about UiPath specific, it will be more of integration services and also the automations it can interact with. And in the next video, we are going to visit our UiPath AI builder, agent builder, sorry, agent builder, and there we will be discussing more detail like what actually each of these things will be doing it. And in a nutshell, what we can conclude is agentic automation is not just about having an agent. It's about creating a complete system where the model provides the intelligence, system prompts provides purpose of the agent, user prompt provides task needs to be performed by the agent, needs to be performed by agent. Tools provide the capabilities to interact with the other applications. Context provides knowledge base. Escalations provides accuracy. So this is going to be the key concepts of like agentic process automation, and we will be having a UiPath agentic automation agent builder platform tool, so that like you'll be getting more clarity on each of these components what we have, and these are going to be our base pillars whenever we are going to implement any agentic automation as part of UiPath. And this all these components actually creates a powerful, reliable, and responsible automation solutions, whereas like we will be adhere to the policies, security, and governance, and even in terms of accuracy. So hope you like the video, and in the next video we are going to have a tour of UiPath agent builder, and we will be covering all these concepts like how we are, what are the different components we have, and how we are going to assess the accuracy of the agentic process, and all these things we will be having a tour. And then going further, we will be covering a couple of concepts which are prerequisites for agentic process automation. Hope you like the video, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you.